Hello friends, welcome back to our YouTube channel Cloud Gadget. So you guys know that we changed our YouTube channel name from Study Point by Messaging to Cloud Gadget, and you guys can search with both of the name right now. If you are searching with Study Point by Messaging, you will get the same channel, or if you will search with Cloud Gadget, you will get the same channel. Okay, so in today's video we are going to learn how to configure web server in Windows Server 2012 on Azure virtual machine, and how we can access that web server from outside of that server. Okay, so let's go on Azure portal. I have already logged in Azure portal with my subscription ID and password. So first step we need to do here, let me note it down here, notepad. For first step we need to create in virtual machines. Let's note down the demo name, practical name here, web server in Windows Server 2012 or 2000. You can take here. Okay, so first step what we need to do in Azure, we need to create virtual machine with 2012 server. Okay, while we are creating that virtual machine, we need to allow HTTPS or RDP port. While creating virtual machine. Okay, after that what we need to do, we need to access the virtual machine via RDP. And step number 4, after access the virtual machine through RDP, we need to install web server feature in virtual machine. Okay, so let's complete first 4 step. After that we will keep it note down here. So first step is create virtual machine. So let's go virtual machine here, or you guys can go here, menu bar, then all services. In all services you will get option for compute. In compute you will get option for virtual machines, or directly you guys can search from here also, virtual machine. Click on that. Right now we don't have any virtual machine in our Azure portal, so let's create that virtual machine with configuration which we have required for web server. Okay, so as I told you many times, like whenever we are creating any services, any resource in Azure portal, we need 2 things for mandatory, like one is subscription and second one is resource group. Okay, so subscription by default it will get select if you have only one subscription. If you have multiple subscription, you can drop down here and change the subscription in which you want to create resource. Okay, then resource group. If you have multiple resource group and you want to create that web server in specific resource group, then you can select that resource group here. So right now we don't have any resource group because we are doing just practical, and after practical I'm removing all the resources from Azure portals. Okay, so we need to create here new resource group, so we can create that resource group here. Okay, so after that it will ask you the virtual machine details, like virtual machine name, what name you want to give that virtual machines, web server 01. Okay, then it will ask you the region name, in which region you want to create that resource. So region we can change from here. We have multiple regions, so you can select according to your location, or you can check the price also. So based on price also you can select that one. Okay, so mostly I'm doing practical in East US, so I'm going to change that East US. Availability option, if you want to keep that availability option set, you can do that here. Availability zone, virtual machine scale set, availability set. So we will learn about these topics in coming lectures. So I'm going to keep default configuration for right now. Security type, I'm going to use standard. If you want to change, you can use that trust launch virtual machines. Like this configuration is some advanced with some advanced features, Gen virtual machine 2, like generation V2. Okay, image type. In image type, we need to select the operating system, which operating system we want to install in that virtual machines. So here we need to do that like Windows Server 2012 R2 data center. Okay, after that it will ask you the size for virtual machines. So by default it will standard B1S, that is the virtual machine name, and configuration is one virtual CPU, 1 gig memory. Okay, so we can if you want to change the configuration, just drop down it here. From you will get multiple details, but if you want to see more higher configuration, just click on that see all sizes. You will get more higher configuration for the virtual machines which you want to give that. Okay, so here one more option is there, like Azure Spot Instance. Azure Spot Instance is like if you want to keep any virtual machine on less prices, then you can use that Azure Spot Instance. But while someone else give that bid for more than you, then that instance will get retired and you have to reboot the servers at any time, or it will impact your business also. So I'm going to use it as standard. I'm not using Spot Instance for practical. Then it will ask you for username and password which you want to give. Here you can do that. So here you will get the option for username and password which you want to create, which you want to use for access that virtual machine. You can use that one. So I'm going to use here study, which is username, and password we need to keep here minimum 12 to 123 characters. Okay, so I'm going to use my password which I'm using mostly for practical demos. Okay, so after that it will ask you the port number, which port you want to allow. So I told you that like we can allow RDP port and 80 port for access web server. So if you want to allow, you can allow HTTP S4 port 3 also, but I'm going to allow only 80 port. Okay, then it will ask you the licensing for Windows Server which we have selected for installations. Check, click on that and confirm that I license. Click next. Then it will ask you the operating system disk type which you want to use. Like it is premium SSD, so it is best in performance, best in production, but it is also high in price. Then standard SSD, so mostly I'm using that standard SSD. It is we have the high performance and price is also less as compared to premium SSD. Okay, so I'm going to use that one, and I'm going to other configuration keep same. Click on next. In networking, you can use that all details here. Like if you want to use public IP, just click here. You can see that web server, it will create the public IP. But if you don't want to use public IP, just click on that one. Then this virtual machine will be not get the public IP. But we need to use that public IP because we have to access that server via public IP. So I'm going to use that one. Other configuration I'm going to keep defaults. In management, I'm going to use boot diagnostic. I'm going to disable that one. Other configuration I'm going to keep same. So here in advanced option we are getting option for extensions. Like if you want to install something via extension, you can do that things. And here also you have custom data, like if we have some JSON script, and via JSON script you want to install anything on server or any application service or any service you want to start, that you need to keep that script here, and that will run after server installation. Like once server is created successfully, that script will get run automatic. So and that will enable that services which you want to do that via script. Next one is tag. If you want to use tag it here, then you can use that one. If you don't want to use, then you can remove that one, leave that it as defaults. After that, click on review. In review we will get the same detail, like which configuration we have selected here. We can, if you want to see that all configuration, we can get that details. If you want to change anything, go to previous and you can change the configurations. Okay, and it will show you the configuration like standard V1 by Microsoft, and that the subscription charges per hour in Indian currencies. So after that, what just we need to do it, create. So once you click on create options, so once you click on that create option, it will create the services which you have created, like we have created virtual machines. And as I told you many times, like whenever we are creating virtual machine, by default it is creating 5 services. In 5 services like network security group, public IP address, virtual networks, network interface, and virtual machines. So 3 things is created here, okay, and 2 things is in process. So just refresh it here, like it will take 1 or 2 minutes only to create the virtual machines. So just wait for a few minutes. So here you can see like our first 2 step is completed. Now we have to access that virtual machine via RDP once our server is created. So like you can see that our services resource is created here. Just go to resource, and that's the basic configuration for our virtual machine which we have taken. Overview of the virtual machines, in which like resource group name, status, location, subscription ID and subscription name, operating system or size of the servers, and that is the public IP. So via public IP we need to access that server via RDP. So I copied that public IP and I'm going to keep it in RDP tools. So it will ask you the username and password which we have created while creating virtual machines. So I put the username and password and hit enter. So it will getting login and it will create the profile on server 2012 which we have created in virtual machines. So profile is creating on server. Just wait 1 minute. Like you can see that we have logged in our virtual machine via public IP successfully. So after that, what we need to do? We have to go on server. Then, like by default, whenever we are logging on server, that server manager dashboard is getting open. So if that is not getting open, just we can close that one, and you will get that option here, server manager. Click on that here, or you guys can search from Windows start button also. Okay, so once server manager is open, we need to go on add roles and feature. Click on that add roles and features. Then we need to click on next. Then it will ask you the installation type. So we need to do that role based on feature based installation, like that is we are going to use on the local server. We are not using any VDI or remote desktop services. So we are using local server. So whenever we are clicking on that server, it will ask you the server name. So by default it is selected. So we just need to do next. And after that it will ask you the role name, server roles, which server role we need to install on that server. So go just click on drop down and we get the option for web server IIS service. IIS means Internet Information Services. Click on that, then it will like have some basic requirements for installation. So it will automatically install that one also. Just click on add feature and click on that next, and that just click on next with default configuration, next, and at the end just click on install. And you can do that like restart the destination server automatically if required. So we can check mark if like server is need to reboot after installation that service, it will get reboot automatically. And if not required, then it will not reboot the server. Just click on install. It will take some time to get installed that server. So let me show you one more things, like if we are copying that public IP here, accessing that via browser. Right now we are not able to access that server via public IP. But once web server services is installed on that server, we can access that web server in browser. So just wait for a few seconds, few minutes, like that almost is installed. Feature installation is almost completed. So wait for some time. So like here you can see the default home page with this public IP. If we go on that server, you can see that installation is got completed. Feature installation is got completed. Installation succeeded on web server 01. So if you want to use that web server custom web page, like we are getting that default home page right now. If you want to do custom change, like just go to that server in which we have configured that web server. then go to C drive on server, then we get the inet directory. Inside inet directory we have www root directory, and here we have that IIS start. That is the default page of our web server which we have. So just right click on that, open with, and open this with notepad, and we just need to change the content here, like this content is here. So I did remove that content and I put that server hi. This is my first web server in Cloud Nugget YouTube channel. Like you can keep anything. Okay, and just after that, just save that files and close that one. Okay, after that, what you need to do, just go to browser and refresh that page. So what we have written in that HTML file, we will get the same page here. Hi, this is my first web server in Cloud Nugget YouTube channel. So if you want to do add any more details there, you can do that things also. And if you are expert in HTML, then you can keep your web server like whatever you require there according to HTML codings. Okay, so like I put that hello. Please subscribe my YouTube channel Cloud Nuggets for more videos on AWS and Azure Cloud. Okay, and I keep that file saved. And if I'm going to refresh the page, then I will get this another page also like here, which we have written in the code. So we will get the same here only. So according to this, like we can use that web server, install the web server in our Azure virtual machines and access that virtual machine via that server. So all step is here. After access the virtual machine through RDP, we need to install web server feature in virtual machine. Like at the 5 point, we can add that, like change the IIS start index file content, which path is C drive. Inside C drive we will get that inet pub directory, inside that www root, and inside www root we will get that IIS start directory indexing file, HTML file. We need to rename that, change that content from that file, and we will able to at the end we are able to access web server from outside servers or clients. Okay, so thanks guys, keep watching and keep supporting. Or if you don't have subscribed my YouTube channel till now, please subscribe that one. So thank you guys, keep watching, and bye bye.